In the early 19th century, Liverpool was not a capital city. It was not the political heart of Britain. Yet it had become one of the most powerful places in the British Empire. This was a city shaped by the sea, by trade, and by speed. A place where goods, people, and money moved faster than almost anywhere else along the Atlantic world. Liverpool was prosperous and deeply contradictory. Wealth and suffering existed side by side. Progress advanced hand in hand with shadow. Through historical engravings, maritime records, and AI-powered reconstruction, we can now return to Liverpool as it once was. Not through textbooks, but through its streets, docks, and daily life. Today, we step into Liverpool in the early 1800s and begin a guided journey through a city that helped shape the modern world. This is Liverpool's waterfront in the early 19th century. You are standing at the water's edge, facing a forest of masts stretching toward the horizon. Stone docks line the shoreline in precise order. Sailors shout commands. Dock workers move relentlessly beneath the weight of cargo. The sea transformed Liverpool into Britain's global gateway. Cotton, sugar, tobacco, and manufactured goods passed through these docks on their way across the world. Did you know? Liverpool pioneered the world's first enclosed dock system, allowing ships to unload regardless of tides. But this prosperity was not innocent. Much of the city's wealth was tied to transatlantic commerce, including some of the most brutal trade systems of the era. And just beyond the docks, another Liverpool begins to appear. This is Liverpool's commercial centre. You are standing among tightly packed brick buildings, rising 2 and 3 stories high. Banks, merchant offices, and counting houses dominate the streets. Men in long coats and tall hats move briskly between meetings. Contracts, ledgers, and currencies circulate at astonishing speed. Liverpool did more than move goods. It operated a global financial network. It's surprising, but fortunes worth millions in today's terms were often decided inside modest offices near the docks. Wealth concentrated rapidly, and with it came widening social divides, because not everyone benefited from Liverpool's rise. This is a working-class neighbourhood of Liverpool. You are standing in a narrow alley between aging brick houses. Large families crowd into small rooms. Children play on damp ground. The air smells of coal smoke and stagnant water. The port created jobs, but it also brought disease, injury, and poverty. Here's the crazy part. Many dock labourers worked more than 12 hours a day and still struggled to survive. Yet these communities endured. They shaped Liverpool's character, resilient, blunt, and unyielding. And as evening approaches, the city transforms once again. This is Liverpool at night. You are standing on a main street illuminated by gas lamps. Warm yellow light reflects off wet stone. Taverns overflow with patrons. Laughter, arguments, and music spill into the streets. Night brought entertainment, but also disorder. Few people realize that early 19th century Liverpool had one of the highest urban crime rates in Britain. The city moved fast, and it paid the price for that speed. Yet an even greater force was beginning to reshape everything. Liverpool was more than a port. It was becoming an industrial engine. Warehouses expanded. Shipyards worked day and night. Canals and roads tied the city to Britain's interior. Goods no longer moved only outward across the sea. They flowed inward across the land. Liverpool stood at the crossroads between the old world and the industrial future. And then a single invention accelerated everything. This is Liverpool at the dawn of the railway age. You are standing near the line connecting Liverpool to Manchester. Steam rises, metal shrieks, machines move faster than anything humanity had known before. Railways shattered old limits of time and distance. Liverpool was no longer just a port city, it became a central node of an industrial empire. It's hard to imagine, but these tracks would permanently change how people worked, traded, and lived. Speed increased, so did risk. Liverpool was racing towards the future, powerful, relentless, and irreversible. This is the part of Liverpool's story that rarely appears in paintings or official records. You are no longer standing in the docks or the counting houses. You are standing among people whose names history did not preserve. Dock labourers with broken backs, women stitching sails and sacks for a few coins a day, children sent to work before they learned to read. The British Empire generated extraordinary wealth, but that wealth was unevenly carried. Many of the goods that passed through Liverpool were produced by invisible hands far from Britain's shores. Cotton picked under coercion, sugar refined through suffering, human lives reduced to numbers in ledgers. And even here, in the heart of the empire, survival was fragile. Disease spread quickly through overcrowded housing. Injuries ended careers overnight. There was no safety net, only endurance. What's often forgotten is this. Liverpool's global power was built not just by ships and capital, but by ordinary people absorbing extraordinary pressure. Their labor fueled expansion. Their sacrifices accelerated progress. And their stories faded as the empire moved on. Yet traces remain. In street layouts, in family names, in the culture of resilience that still defines the city today. To understand Liverpool's rise, we must acknowledge this cost, because modern prosperity did not emerge without human consequence. And only by seeing the full picture can we truly understand how empires were built. This is a quiet street in Liverpool, far from the docks and the grand buildings of commerce. You are standing among rows of brick houses, their walls darkened by soot and time. The stones beneath your feet are worn smooth, shaped not by a single event, but by thousands of ordinary days. These streets were never painted in celebratory scenes of the empire. They were not places of power, yet they carried the weight of Liverpool's transformation. Here lived clerks who copied numbers late into the night, craftsmen whose skills were slowly overtaken by machines, widows taking in laundry to survive, apprentices learning trades that might disappear within a generation. From upper windows, washing hangs on lines strung between buildings. Footsteps echo in narrow lanes. Doors open and close as people move between work, home, and exhaustion. Industrial growth reshaped daily life in subtle but permanent ways. As Liverpool expanded, rents rose, rooms grew more crowded. Families took in lodgers, sometimes strangers, to make ends meet. For some, opportunity arrived with the city's growth. For others, stability slipped further out of reach. Neighborhoods changed quickly, and people were often forced to adapt or move on. These streets absorbed that pressure quietly. They witnessed hopes raised and disappointed, children growing up faster than they should have, lives shaped by forces far beyond individual control. History often remembers cities through monuments and milestones. But places like this remind us of something essential. The most important changes often happen without ceremony. In these ordinary streets, Liverpool became modern, not in moments of glory, but in the slow accumulation of everyday life. You have just walked through Liverpool in the early 19th century, a city built on ambition, trade, and profound contradictions. If you enjoyed this video, click on the next one on screen to discover more.